All right. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Just changed my microphone over. All right, so I've been working on this climbing prototype. It looks the same. I haven't really worked on the map too much. This is a little test to see how crouching works. And all right, so some of the changes I made are when you walk up to these vine walls, which I promise I will make better looking, you now, instead of just interacting with them and like getting sucked onto the wall automatically, you use the same hand icon that you would use to grab onto a handhold. And if you let go, it drops you. And at the same time, you can change your hands left and right by alternating your mouse buttons or gamepad controls. That's the other thing I worked on, is integrating all gamepad controls so you can play the game with a gamepad. And when you get up to the top, you can jump up. And I also worked on the pickup system. I made it a little more advanced. Now, when you pick these up, you get 2 spikes for every pickup, and then you use it just like you would use any projectile that has like an inventory amount. A little animation. And so now I'm out of spikes because it only came with 2. And they work just like they did before. No changes there. In addition to that, I gave a little telegraph of when you actually get onto the ledge, so you know you're actually on the ledge with the hand icon. And I added a climbing pick, which you can open and close. And while it's open, it will grab onto the wall. So I'll show you now. Just like that. Now, since I only have 1 pick, I can't climb around on the wall like you might see in another video game, but you can shift your body weight around to get closer to things to grab onto. And in addition to that, you can jump from here using some of your stamina, which is the little bar that's slowly moving downwards. As I'm holding onto this pick, I'm using stamina. And by jumping, I can jump from here to another spot and then use the pick again. But you can only do that so many times before you run out of stamina. And then you have to get down to the floor, let your stamina go back up. All right, and now if you're out of stamina, what ends up happening is your pick will fail and then you fall. And you can't use the pick again until you land onto the floor somewhere and let your stamina move back up. In addition to that, I made it so you have to alternate your fingers to climb across on handholds. You can't just use the same hand as you could before, so it's a little more involved when you're climbing. Oop. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. So all right, let me jump up here and then I'll show you what happens when you have 2 picks. There's another pick up there. Nope. I'm having trouble with that. On the right, you can see my health bar. And if you run out of health, you die. It doesn't regenerate right now, but it probably will. The idea is if you fall from too high of a height, you end up dying. don't know why it's not letting me up there. Oh, see, I died. I think I messed with the collider in the map, and I have to fix that. So what I'll do is actually instead I will teleport us to the right spot in the map really quickly. All right, so we're back. I have the 2 picks here. Now when you have 2 picks, you can actually climb along the wall to where you need to go. So I'm actually going to jump down from here. And if you're falling too fast, you will slide down the wall and it will use up your stamina. So I'll hop off, I'll let that charge back up, and then I'll show you what happens as you run out of stamina. That's I haven't made any other changes to the way the things work in the other video I created, just some of these additions and refinement. There's a lot of edge cases I had to work on to get the different systems to work together. There's a bit of like a race condition between a ledge grab and if you have a pick, and you can hear it sometimes do one or the other. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to fix that, other than maybe have the 2 systems communicate directly with each other. But something to fix. Seems like another little bug I have to work on. But overall, I really like the pick system. It's nice to be able to climb anywhere you want to go. And then as you do that, you can grab onto a handhold. You put your picks away and then you're on the handhold. Now when you're on the handhold, your pick stamina does not recharge. You have to get onto the floor to recharge. So this is kind of like preventing you from like scaling a wall unfairly and sort of cheating the system. Yeah, I gotta fix that ledge grab. Something wrong with it. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's where I'm at now. I added a bunch of sounds, which I didn't have before. Some footsteps. I added a drop shadow, so you can tell where you are in the map. It's not like a regular shadow, it's a very special shadow, just to point downwards so you see where you're at as you're trying to make a jump. You'll see like more of like your distance that you need to make. I obviously have pick sounds and hand grabbing sounds. They're very subtle, so if you have your speakers up, you could probably hear them a little bit. Here, I'll turn it up a little bit. And when you jump onto a vine, it makes a sound. And as you move along it, it animates your movement, and you can hear just subtly some vine sounds. And then when you have 2 sets of tools, you can alternate between them. And then once you run out of the one tool, it removes it from your backpack. And now I just have the one tool I could use. Next up, I am planning on adding the ability to scale things that are at an angle. Right now, it doesn't do that. And the math involved is actually kind of complex, so I haven't really put a lot of time into it. But now that have all these systems working the way I want them to work, I want to get the ability to scale this wall vertically along the axis that it's rotated on. As you can see, it kind of like changes the view. I have it tilting the player character, so it's aligning the player character, but I haven't figured out the math. I just started today, actually. I haven't figured out the math to get it to scale at that angle. So right now when it scales up, it literally just scales completely vertically. There's some more edge case bugs of when you do have something that is at an angle. You can sometimes see through the object because it's not placing the character at the proper distance from the wall. And in addition to that, I'm working on another system where you can climb along a pole, where the whole pole is something you can walk along, or not walk along, grab along with your hands. So you can, in theory, sort of like shimmy your way across an area. In addition to that, I still have to work on the rappel system, and I'm thinking as a quick beginning to that system, I'm going to have a sort of like a zip line system where I'll shoot these handholds out between two sections and then a rope will be attached, and then you can zip line downwards, assuming you're heading down. I may have it so if it's heading like in a vertical direction, going upwards, maybe you can handhold and climb along this imaginary rope. I haven't really decided on how I'm going to do that. It's still not a rappel system, but I think it's just a good next step in it. I don't think it'd be very hard to put together. So, all right, that's it. Hopefully I get some more done, and I'll work on video number 3. Thanks for checking it out.